if I was supporting that team, I would, I'd be very disappointed.
Hard, eh? It's
I love
hard.
what
Yeah.
we said, and the whole world is like, Kyrie, and Kyrie's like, I told you. His name is BB. What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 3 of NBA SA. Say what's up? Softly.
What's up?
We gotta speak a little bit softly this evening because we are 3 dads, all with young kids who are all in bed or either almost in bed. So we're gonna make noise, but not such a lot of noise. We're chilled. What's up, fellas? Kirk, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing fantastic. Well, thank you. It's been a good week. It's been an interesting week.
Are we?
Yeah.
Timmy, how you, dog?
Good. I'm good. My opinions are louder than what my voice will allow. Right? So I'm ready.
Wow. Big statements. I almost didn't hear opinions. I almost heard the word that sound like
whatever floats your boat.
What us guys can talk about.
Yeah. Gentlemen, we've had 2 weeks of the NBA. What I started out believing about teams quickly changed after 4 games. Quickly changed. How you fellas feeling about the first 2 weeks? Give me any team, any prediction, any thoughts. Where's your head at?
So the first thing you should remember about this is it's only been 2 weeks. And there's a long way to go. There's a really long way to go. But I must admit, I am surprised at which teams are doing well and which teams are struggling. Look, we're going to talk about the Lakers every week, I'm pretty sure.
And yes.
And I'm not surprised at the way they've started because I think the age of the team and where the team is going, they are in no rush. They are in no hurry to get it right. All they need to do is get to the final or to the playoffs, and then they'll take it from there. The teams that have surprised me, Miami, I didn't pay a lot of attention to Miami in the off season. They're looking nice. Who else? The Hornets are looking fantastic. Shout out to Timmy. He did give a nod to one of their guys, Bridges, that was going to do well this year, and he's doing okay. The other guys are doing fantastically well. They've got a healthy Gordon Hayward back. They're looking nice.
By the way, I completely agree with KD. Look, we all said that the Lakers are likely to start slowly, but they started in reverse. That's a real problem, right? I mean, where's you and I? We picked them to potentially win everything. I still wouldn't bet against LeBron. There's still 78 games that they've got to get that they can warm up on, but there's some serious thinking that has to be done there. I'm gonna flip to the other side.
I've watched every Lakers game, and it actually felt like 4 different teams every night. 2 of the games LeBron didn't play, and just like Kirk said, man, it's gonna take a long while. I reckon 20 games before they figure out how their gel works. Away. Who else you got, Timmy?
I'm gonna flip to the East. Just 2 potential surprises. One a warning, actually. Right. The Nets have looked fine, but I actually think that they've got some real problems. Right? Aside from Kyrie, we mentioned last week that the role players were potentially an issue. I think that's going to become more of an issue, right? And at some stage, I'm sure Harden is going to adapt to the new rule changes. But the fact that he can't get to the free throw line is going to be a real issue. It's completely understated. He was only an efficient player, right? From 3 because he was making those free throws. You take those free throws away, and all of a sudden he becomes a very inefficient player. And I think that's a real problem. And until they adjust to that, the Nets the Nets are not gonna. They won't. If they don't adjust, they won't even make the conference finals. That's my one look. And then the other look is I completely
If they
underestimated.
don't make the finals, if you're saying they don't make the finals, who does? At this moment,
They don't make the conference finals, right? So
yeah. Who does?
Then I suppose that then my points would be the Bucks, right? And Atlanta. They look deep. They look like they'll punch you in the face twice before you've even looked. Yeah. And then my sort of sneaky team, right? Which I joked. I said one of their players was the biggest sneaky move, right? He's going to be an all-star. Right? I don't know if I really believe if Evan Fournier is going to be an all-star, but that team made little incremental changes, right? And they filled just the pieces that they need, and they're a real example of the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. You know, like
the whole is greater than some of the parts.
Not the whole.
The whole.
Not the whole.
Full stop.
Full stop. Owens, are we surprised that Golden State started this well?
Yes.
I'm not. You are? I'm not.
I feel like that's some revisionist history there. I don't remember you saying that they can be quiet.
Yeah. So remember, my Golden State was my pick out of the West to be the surprise team of this year. I started out by saying it's like weird to call a multi-title winning team like a recent champ a surprise, but I mean, just based on where they come from, it looked like they were going to struggle again. But just watching their team in the off season and watching their role players and how their role players just understood their roles and how they support the core, that team looks fantastic. I mean, the way they move the ball around, the way they share the ball, the way they make the extra pass. And I mean, they can shoot. I mean, you are a half decent shooter and you come into that team that gives you the green light from the time you step on the floor. I mean, tell me, you know.
And they're fun to watch, eh?
Yeah.
It's fun to watch when they're the underdog.
Yeah.
That is what I was about to say now, is how crazy is it that a 3-time NBA championship team when Clay comes back, they'll be like close to personnel as what they were. Yet we see them as an underdog. But Steph Curry, I just checked now, he's 33 years old. You almost feel like at 33, he could prime. He could prime this year.
Oh, yeah.
He looked like a bra who's like, I'm gonna fuck these lighties up this year. This year I'm gonna fuck these lighties. That's what's scary.
He still turns the ball. He still turns the ball over like terribly, because my fantasy is suffering because I'm like lost in turnovers.
You don't want Westbrook.
Quadruple double.
Yeah. If I'm gonna do this triple double thing, I'm gonna kill the whole thing. I'm quadruple double it.
But you know what I think is interesting about the Golden State is the fact that they've been dormant for 2 seasons and everybody else leveled up. So like, I mean, teams have gotten better. You've got a Lakers team that's star-studded. You've got little little threes forming all over the show. And like it just feels like they've been overlooked and how they pan out.
Have you seen Chicago's next 15 games? Think of every great team that might
14,
make the
14.
conference or West.
Yeah, they said 14 of the 15 teams they're playing are playoff teams.
Okay, that's a nice baptism of fire.
And many of them many of them are away. They go on a West Coast road trip.
Yeah.
You know what's nice about that though? Getting those games out of the way early.
Sinjay. That's what I'm thinking. Yes, they played poppy teams or whatever, but momentum and confidence is a big deal. It's a big deal. You go into the next game, even though I think they play I think they play New York next, right? Which either of those two teams can win. They're both in a high.
I think they play New York
Whoever
tonight,
wins-
don't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine Chicago pulls up a win there tonight. All of a sudden, you're like, yay.
This team can
What if-
Dala.
on that, because Wes, I agree with you, right? Winning games put you on a high, right? You win those 4 games, you're going with full confidence, right? But just listen to these names: New York, Boston, Philly, Brooklyn, Dallas, Golden State, Clippers, Lakers, Portland, Denver, New York. You could also go
They're
out
going
of
to win
there.
2 of those games.
You could also go out of there losing 10 of them. Yeah, that can destroy whatever your confidence of those 4 games are. It could knock that flat.
I'm too positive, bruh. I'm the other guy. Could win 10 of them.
Yes. But I was saying, luckily they're getting those teams early in the season while everybody's still figuring things out. So they'll probably win 50% of those games, come back feeling great. We've beaten a few Western playoff teams. We're on the right track, blah, 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 blah. But you know what all of those things mean when you get to the playoffs? It means football.
Okay. Make your prediction. Make your prediction now. So we're calling it, we're going to play back this clip. The Bulls are about to go on a 15-game run. Timmy just mentioned all the teams. How many teams does the Bulls beat at the next 15 games? I'm going to say 10-5, just to fuck with Timmy.
How much bubbles did you drink before this?
Enough, pal. Come out like this.
So 15 games. So from New York.
The next 15? Yeah. So I'm saying the Bulls are going to end 14-5 after 19 games. Kirk, what you got?
I say they're going to win 8 of the next 15. That's going to put them on 12.
12-7. Timmy?
I think they're going to get a push clap, and then they're going to start circling the drain. They're going to end up with 4 wins in the next 15, and that'll leave them at still an improvement to last year, 8-11.
Yeah. 8-11. Okay. What are we putting on the line?
I mean, other than pride. Yes.
Winner gets 2
okay.
cases of beers.
2 cases of beer.
That's a lot of beer. I'm working on my fast break.
So I'll buy a case, and actually, I'm not gonna fucking lose.
Okay,
the
2 losers. Okay, the 2 losers buy a 12-pack.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
So you shouldn't be drinking so much beer with me.
And
I'm trying to drink less. So. He says.
Okay, so I've watched a lot of videos on the Kyrie saga, and I've watched a lot of videos on the Simmons saga. And both of you gentlemen have been coaches. So put on your coach's hat for a little minute over here, right? Let's start with the Simmons saga. You are the head coach of that club. You know the story. How do you handle it?
Yeah, look, to be fair, I actually agree with the way that Philly is handling it right now. Yeah, so that's not placing judgment on how they got here, right? And whether they made mistakes in getting here and who's responsible for it. But now the ball lies here, and you've got to play the ball as it is. Yeah, the reality is, I legitimately think that they've either got to get him to play and raise his stock or keep him away from the team completely, right? That sort of that having somebody who is a cancer to the team, right, is massively problematic. And if he's your second best player, that becomes something that's untenable. I'd take losses right? To make sure that the players that are left behind are right. And then I'd continue to be Daryl Morey and look for the right deal, right? For the club. Yeah. Whether that, the funny thing is, I like the CJ McCollum deal from the beginning anyway, right? Whether they could still get him or not, who knows? But a dynamic, scoring, really aggressive guard that can take a lot of pressure off Embiid. Like I think legitimately that's what they need. They are still a good team, just with Joel, right? And a bunch of guys who can shoot around him. If you put somebody who can actually handle the ball, man, that's rough. And he's such a great defensive player. Matisse is such a great defensive player. Like there's a lot of pieces around it that just work. Yeah. So keep him away from the team. Trade him when you get the right deal. Until you get the right deal, don't do anything.
Yeah. Kirk, what's your thoughts, bro?
I'm actually tired of the story now, and I just want them to get it done. Who said something? I think it was Shaq or it was Barkley. One of the guys on that panel, they made a very interesting statement. They said it's so hard winning in the NBA. You don't need this kind of distraction in your franchise if you have designs on being one of the teams coming out of the East. And the sooner they get it resolved, the better. I agree with Timmy. I agree that Philly have started where they are now. They're playing it right. I've seen a few of Doc's interviews, and he's saying all the right things. I like the way they're giving him a chance. They, on paper or in front of the media, they're giving him a chance, and they're saying, look, it's up to him. He's welcome. But the way he's come in and he's behaved, so he's making it hard for them to leave the door open, and he's going to lose a lot of money, unfortunately. But yeah, so hopefully it can get resolved. I don't see him getting back into that team. Just he's burnt so many bridges and he's done so many things. It's going to be hard. And if they manage, if they are saddled with him for this season is going to be a bust for him. It's going to be such a distraction. I don't see them reading the ship this year. So it's going to be hard for them. I think the best is for them to trade him. But at this stage, getting equal value for him is going to be impossible.
So we all agree he must leave for everybody to be okay. He must leave.
If I was a coach, if I was running the team, I wouldn't want either of them on it. Like to be completely fair, I know talent wins all, right? But I wouldn't I wouldn't want either of them as part of the franchise. In fact, I'm ready to print a T-shirt with Ben Simmons on the front and DBAP on the back. Because do you want to enlighten everybody to what that stands for, right? Because it's a golden rule, and it doesn't matter what team, what sport, what corporate place you play for.
Yeah.
It's a life skill.
Yeah. Be a good teammate. Just play.
And then the Kyrie situation, I think, is easier. If I was Steve Nash, I would have Spurs lose 8 games in a row. Yeah.
Maybe that's what they're doing.
And then the world's going to come together and go, oh, Kyrie. And he's going to come out and he's going to want to be the savior. And it's going to play to his ego. And the whole world's going to have his attention. And then he's going to get himself jabbed. He's going to come back and everything's going to be fine. Right? His situation is simple. He'll come back. He'll come back at some point. But if I was part of the franchise, I'd never want that guy part of it. I would, if I was supporting that team, I'd be very disappointed.
Hard, eh? It's hard.
We said, and the whole world is like, Kyrie. And Kyrie's like, I told you. B. Kirk, your thoughts? Same vibes.
Same. Yeah, I think, like I said, it's just a young man latching onto something, using his voice and wanting his voice to be heard. the sooner he gets over it, the better for everybody. But again, like, who would want a bra like that on your team? I mean, we've played with some special people, man. We've played with some special people. But to have a bra.
With your coach's hat on, do you keep him? Or would you rather just like, I don't actually smack this drama? I'm asking you now on a personal. You are the coach. Do you keep Kyrie and work the mental game? Or do you trade him and go, nah, fuck, I don't smack this drama? I'm asking you. You are now the coach. What do you do?
Well, I can't do fuck all with him because he's not allowed into the building.
Nah. So, okay, but you allowed the decision now. You can decide. You tell him, Keki, either you're going to get the jab or we're trading you and you're leaving. You have that decision. Or,
okay,
please,
yeah,
please get the jab for daddy. Please.
I won't lick his hat. I'll be like, look, dude, stick it or you're gonna line.
But what? You're the owner now. Remember, you're the owner or you're the.
But I'm a hardball. Like it means more soft skills.
Remember, making a decision which is gonna affect your team, and you want to win a championship. So will you still not lick his hat?
Well, but we know we're not winning a championship as we are right now. So
so that's what I'm asking.
So
then you're gonna lick his hat.
You.
I never gonna lick his hat.
Look here. Man.
I almost got him, Tim. I just wanted him to say, okay, I'll lick Kyrie's hat. Almost.
When you said be liquor, you didn't mean that kind of liquor.
Look here. Yo. Kyrie, guys. Kyrie's broccoli. That's what he is, right? Kyrie's broccoli. What's your favorite dessert?
Peppermint tart.
Oh, cool. Your peppermint crisp tart.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But your mommy is not going to let you get your peppermint crisp tart, right? Unless you eat your broccoli. Yeah? You know what the peppermint crisp tart is? That's KD.
Yeah.
Not this KD. That's Kevin Durant. Right? Yeah. The reality is Kyrie is a necessary evil to keep Kevin happy. Or at least somewhat happy. Right? In the building. That's his friend. That's his guy. He's there because of Kyrie. He wants Kyrie around. Right? Kyrie is just a necessary evil. And actually, when he plays, he's great. Yeah? So you know what?
Yeah.
If I was the owner, okay, if I was the owner as a billionaire, I'm not licking anybody's cut either. But if I was Steve Nash, maybe. I pop some peppermint tart in my mouth first.
Here's a tissue. True.
That mean mug that Steve Nash gave in the playoffs last year, he's gonna give Kyrie that face before he
Yeah. All right, fellas. I'm gonna start a thing tonight. Okay, it's called #make your pick. Okay, I'm going to read out the stats of two players, and the two of you are actually going to be picking your starting five, right? But you don't know the player's name. All I'm going to read you is the stats of this player, okay? And you two are going to choose one of the two. Does that make sense? So you're purely picking on stats only, right? No name. So I'm going to say to you, this player did this, so many, and I'll read out a bunch of stats, and you will guess who you think this player is. They could be current or they could be retired. They could be in the game, right? And then you must make your pick. Who you going with based on pure stats. Okay.
Awesome.
Tim, you ready?
100%.
Yeah.
I have no idea how this is going to work, but I'm in.
Me, I will fit.
So, player number one. Okay. Player number one.
Yes. Mine.
This guy averages
I got him.
24. Okay. He averages
Zuzu.
24 points a game. Okay. He averages 6.7 assists a game. And he averages 4.6 rebounds a game. He has also been a 6-time All-Star. Okay. Should I repeat?
Okay.
You following?
I'm with you. 26 and 4.
Do you want to write this down? Do you want to... Yeah. Okay. Player number 2. 26 points a game. He averages. This is over the career, by the way, right? It's over the career. But they could be still playing, and they could be retired, and they could already be like old brassa.
Okay.
Mhm.
Player number 2 averages 26 points, has 6.2 assists, 3.7 rebounds, but has been an 11-time All-Star. So you see the difference over there.
Mm.
So player number 1 averages 24 points, where player 2 averages 26 points. They're both similar in assists, 6.7 and 6.2. And they kind of the same with rebounds, but player 1 has 4.6 rebounds a game, and player 2 has 3.7 rebounds a game. But the big difference here, of course, is the one is a 6-time All-Star, player 1, and the other one is an 11-time All-Star. Who do you think it is? And which player would you pick? You're the coach.
I won't lie. I have no idea who it is. Either of them.
Okay.
But I'll
So
take player 2.
I'll make it easy for you. Okay. So I'm picking your squad. So
Okay.
because this is episode 1, I went with point guards first. You are talking about 2 point guards here.
Okay.
So based on pure stats, which point guard are you picking? Kirk, who you got?
I'll go player 1 purely because at the point guard slot, I would want somebody to have a higher assist rate than a scoring rate.
Cool. Timmy, who you got? Same guy, different guy.
But player 2 scored more and was marginally different than assists. How?
It's almost two assists a game different.
No.
One.
Where?
One.
What were the
3.7 rounded off against 4. And player 1 was 5.
You can't take back now, man.
Okay. I'll still take the guy with the higher assist. Because if you're going to give him assist, that's a 2 points. It's 2 points and he's 2 points less, so it's the same thing. So either he's putting 2 points, he's putting someone else is 2 points.
I like player 2 because player 2 being the 11th-time All-Star, I assume means that they were a winning team more often, and therefore became more popular. So I'm gonna assume that player 2 added more to wins than player 1 did. And I like winning players, Kirk.
Okay. So
In
that's
terms of
it.
what the
So
man-
at the end of 5 episodes, at the end of 5 episodes, I will reveal who
PPIP.
your team was. Yeah.
What?
So
Yeah.
we don't know. We're not going to know who. It's a
No.
short game.
Yeah. So I've made my notes.
I mean, I
Or
like
do you
suspense,
wanna-
but that sort of suspense is too much.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you who you picked,
Oh.
and then in that way we can make our own stuff. Yeah.
Can we build it up?
So
That's going to influence
Yeah.
my next pick. Yeah.
no, but you won't know. You won't know.
But you'll know who you're adding to.
Good.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Kirk, you went with player 1. Timmy, you went with player 2. Kirk, your all-star point guard is Steph Curry.
What? 6-time also.
Yeah.
Only.
The other years was probably injured. Yeah. Ankle don't wait for fucking nobody. If you're
That
not
is
in the league,
rough.
if You're not available on the weekend. We find another brah. CJ McCallum. Hi. We find a replacement for you quickly. To me, a player. It was very funny that you said that because he was an 11-time All-Star, he was very often on a winning team. Because your point guard is Allen Iverson.
Yeah, man, I'm happy with that. I'm cool with Allen Iverson. Yeah. So long as I don't have to coach him and he doesn't have to appear at practice, I'm good.
So there you go, Kirk. Your starting point guard is Steph Curry. Timmy, your starting point guard is Allen Iverson. You can think about your team. Next week, we'll go on to shooting guards. I did promise myself that I will not include LeBron James and Michael Jordan in this scenario. Okay, just to avoid all of that, I'm going with everybody else except the two.
Why do you include LeBron in that conversation?
Do you know why? Because you can't bet out on the brain. On the brain? You can't bet. That's why.
The brain.
Way that you couldn't bet against. So
you say,
all right, fellas.
Could you say Kobe might be in that mix some way, but
Possible.
not LeBron? Okay.
Possible. He might. I mean, he was a shooting guard, so he might be in next week's list. But I might put him at the 3 guard because I can, because it's my show.
You can do whatever the fuck you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I could make you pick at the
we,
shooting guard.
Can we trade players after we know who they are? Like if I get Kobe, I'll trade him to you.
I'm not
Nah,
trading.
don't want him. I'm not about that resurrection shit.
So you should have 3 players and you get the afal.
Or
Yeah,
I
actually,
pick
that's fine.
LeBron at point guard.
Actually, for this
I
week,
can.
for this week, we give you LeBron. I like Katie's idea. Next week, come with 3 players.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Leftovers you can keep.
Okay.
It's like a bad Space Jam movie. It's like all
Not
Space
really
Jam movies.
leftovers.
You can be Bill Murray.
There's only one bad Space Jam movie.
Just for that, Jordan stats in next week's list. And I pray Kirk doesn't choose him.
The whole week, Kirk's going to be looking at Jordan's stats. Right, these numbers come up.
I'm going to ask you, everybody now, I'm going to ask you, how many titles did he win? How many titles did he win? How many titles did he win?
All right, fellas, let's wrap it up. What are we looking forward to quickly? Any big games in particular?
I'm looking forward to Chicago's 15-game run that we're going to be monitoring over the next few weeks, over the next few.
I'm looking forward to the 24 beers that I'm going to have to drink because you guys have made a bad decision.